down in Houston, Texas. What's happening, Travis?
Not much, man. Living the dream. Can't wait to get back in the ring.
Can't wait to get back. We're going to take a couple of steps back. Obviously, it was well documented that you caught the coronavirus, COVID-19, and you obviously been well now for a couple months. How you been feeling? Are there any lingering effects or anything?
Um, any lingering effects? No. I think after I got tested positive for COVID-19, like COVID-19 immediately went in hiding from me. So it got away from me, and I'm good.
So were you? I really haven't had a chance to talk to you. Were you at all scared? You know, you get that diagnosis, you see what's going on in the news. I mean, did you have any worries about anything?
I mean, I'd be a liar to sit there and say I wasn't worried. I mean, I wasn't worried as far as my health because I'm pretty healthy for the most part. My concern was my children, being a single father, one of them catching it. My concern was if my father caught it, what's going to happen with him, and he did catch it. Me, I've never, honestly, man, as crazy as it sounds, I'm not afraid to die. Like, in a sense, I feel like I don't want to die, of course. But in a sense, I always feel like I lived a long life. Like, if I die, fuck it. Like, whatever. As long as my kids don't die or my father or whatever, like, not saying that's the best way to think, but I wasn't really too scared about the COVID-19. I know I'm healthy, and the percentage of people dying is 0.01. So am I going to be that 0.01? If that's the case, that was God's calling for me to go.
What how long did it take? Obviously, you know, you read the thing. Usually takes 2 weeks or something. How long did it take you really to start feeling like yourself again?
7 days.
Oh wow, okay. So went in, went out, and that was it. Okay. So then I know you've been down in Houston, Texas, training down there. How's everything going with that?
Life is good. I come out here every night and skinny dip.
Oh God.
So life can't be that bad.
The world did not need to know that. And if I see any of that, the video's going off.
I'm going live tonight, baby.
Well, you can do that. So talk about. I know obviously you train in writing. You've been in training camps all over the place. You've been. I know your father has had a house down in Houston for a while now. So you're pretty much comfortable down there. Talk about training down in Houston, Texas.
Well, I've been coming back and forth to Houston for the last 6 years. My first time down here was I came down here to help Brian Jennings get ready. Brian Jennings called me down to help him get ready for Mike Perez. I came down here. I was only down here for a week. I liked it, but I didn't really get the feel of it. Then, like a year later, after I had my knee surgery, because I ended up having knee surgery right after that, and I heard there of a place called Plex, which is where a lot of fighters go for therapy. Jamel Charlo and Jamal Charlo used to train there. So I was going there for my therapy, and I fell in love with Houston, the environment out here. Not so much the training at that time, but I did fall in love with the environment, the athletes, when you're around a bunch of other athletes, it's like a competitive thing. You want to be just as good or if not better. Unfortunately in Reading, I'm the only pretty much quote unquote athlete in Reading. I mean, for the big name athlete in the sense. We have Lonnie Walker, but he lives in San Antonio. So, in Reading, it's a little different. The athletes don't train together. We're all to ourselves. We all stay isolated from other people, which is weird. But I love being out here because you're around other elite athletes like Trent Williams, Adrian Peterson, NFL players, basketball players, Rashard Lewis. When you're around all these people, it just gives you a drive to know the small city I come from, that there's a guy like me around all these people like this.
Is it something? I know you say been coming down the last 6 years. Is it something you wish that maybe that you found Houston a little bit sooner?
I talk about this all the time. I wish I would have found Houston early in my career. I think my career would have turned out a little bit different. I'm very happy where my career is at, but I believe it could have been a little better. Could have made a lot more money. Could have had more fans, more support. But I love it. I mean, God makes no mistakes, and things happen for a reason. And but I do. I mean, I do think about that often. But I can't sit there and dwell on anything. I can't sit there and be upset. I'll be 35 in another 2 months. Trust me,
35
if I
for a
could,
35 for a heavyweight, that's not really
it ain't
old.
young, but it ain't old. It's middle aged. But I don't want to. I mean, I've been doing this. It seems like 100 years. I turned pro at 20 years old. I'll be 35. I made decent money in my career, and I still have a lot more money to be made. But I don't want to keep doing this forever. I mean, I got my 14-year-old son out here with me. Since he was born, I've been going to training camps. He's 14 now. By the time he retires, he'll be 16, 17. When do they get a chance of dad living a normal life? You know what I mean? So I still love what I do. I still love the money I make fighting. I still love the freedom it gives me. But at the same time, I still, in a sense, crave to be a normal person. You know.
You've had some nagging injuries here and there that's kept you out, that's kept you out of action. But in a way, do you feel that could extend your career because you were out of the ring, you weren't, taking beatings, you weren't getting hit, that maybe you can maybe fight a couple extra years more than maybe the average career?
I'm be real right now. Not for me, no. Maybe some people. I wouldn't sit here and say I live. I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm an angel in between fights. I put a lot of wear and tear on my body, not just training either. So, my lifestyle it's a hectic lifestyle. I got these knucklehead kids I chase after all day long. So hadn't I had the injuries, like I said, it's been a gift and a curse in a sense. I mean, it's a blessing because, it might have preserved me a little bit, maybe not have taken so much punishment in a sense. But at the same time, I mean, I've in what's it been now? 14 years as a professional. 14 years as a professional. Almost 15 years as a professional. So 14 years as a professional, I've probably only been active 8-9 years. I mean, in reality, I had shoulder surgery, I had hand surgeries, I had knee surgeries. So right there alone is 5 years off.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So to do what I've done in 9 years is amazing.
Well, so let's get into the boxing aspect. Before the COVID-19 shutdown and you getting the virus, everything like that, you were scheduled to fight, if I'm not mistaken. And
I was scheduled to fight March 28th, I believe it was, in I forget where it was at, Mississippi or something, Minnesota or something like that. I forget where it was at. And it was just a comeback fight, a tune-up.
Did you have an opponent?
I believe my dad had an opponent. I don't remember who it was. I can't think of it off the top of my head. It was a guy with a better than a 500 record, of course, but it wasn't, no walk in the park. I mean, it would have been great if I went out there in 10 seconds knocked him out, but I don't think it was a walk in the park for me. There's a lot of times, even in the gym when I spar guys, there's certain people that can spar, and I can probably take them out there right away. But for me, it's like I have an objective of what I'm trying to do. So my last fight, my fight that was supposed to happen.
It was supposed to be April 11th. I'm being told.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
I thought it was March 28th. Okay, well, whenever it was. My mentality was, of course, I thought I would have knocked the guy out. I could have knocked him out 1 round, probably could have knocked him out 10. It was an 8-round fight. Probably could have knocked him out 3 rounds, whatever it was. My mentality was to fill the shoulder out, make sure it feels good, and then knock him out. Because I would have knocked him out. I just don't know what round. But I don't think it would have done me any good to go out there and blast him out.
And obviously you're with Al Heyman and Premier Boxing Champions. Nick Guivas was the guy you were supposed to fight. I know Nick. If and when you do get that call, and obviously things are a little bit different now in terms of the way the fights are going to be set up for a while with no fans and whatnot. If you were asked to fight, not a tune-up, but maybe a step-up kind of fight, is that something that you would have to take the jump at, or you still need to get one of these fights in following your surgeries?
No, I mean, absolutely. I mean, that's why I'm in camp now. I got a big fight coming up. A guy who's ranked to the top in the world. Until he fights me, then he's not gonna be rated no more.
Oh, so you can't break no news though, can you?
I can't say who.
Okay.
I believe I could give the date. I'll let my dad answer that one. I think he's watching. But I don't want to answer any questions.
We don't want to get him in trouble with the boss either.
So for me, I mean, what I think I would take a tuna fight. What good is the tuna fight doing me? I'm 35 years old. I mean, I go out there with a tuna fight, get a guy like a Nick Cuevas, and go out there and re-injure my knee, and then for a fight that's I'm making 25, 50,000, whatever it is, I get hurt, or I go out there and fight a top dog, which I'll probably do better against a top dog guy than I will against a guy I should blast out. I'll probably do because I rise to my opposition. I rise to the level of the opponent I have. So I'll probably do better anyways with a higher opposition and show better. And then on that, I'm making more money. So I go out there and God forbid in that fight, a top fight, get hurt. I'm getting hurt and I have six figures or whatever it is in the account compared to going out and getting hurt against a guy for 25, 50,000. To me, I always tell my dad, I don't want two numbers no more. You know, my dad's always, he's still, even though I'm 35 years old, I'm still, in a sense, his baby. So he still wants to, he don't baby me anymore, but he's still, in a sense, he's very precautious at certain things. And I get it. I get it. But I tell my dad all the time, I'm not getting any younger.
So this is a fight that, you know, should you come out with your hand raised, this can put you right in the mix then.
When I come out with my hand raised, this will put me in for something huge. I'm hoping. It should. I really, the talks of the stories I'm hearing, the conversations I hear with my dad, this should really put me in a position that really change my life forever.
The heavyweight division now, it's, you know, obviously right before we had the big Wilder Fury fight, that looks like they're going to fight a third time, and possibly Fury and Joshua fighting twice. What are your thoughts on that?
I think the best thing Wilder could do is take a tune-up fight. I think the results are going to be the same regardless. But I think he needs a tune-up fight to build his confidence back up, get him like 2 or 3 tune-up fights, to be honest with you.
I actually think that this break helps him going into the third fight.
I agree.
It lets him, you know, relax, because obviously they were talking about coming right back in July. This probably won't happen. You know, I think he's got, you know, a shot in this fight now because of the pushback of the schedule.
Well, anybody that hits as hard as Wilder always has a shot.
Absolutely.
I don't care how bad he is as a fighter. You know, he's not bad. He's not the most skilled, but it's not bad. Wilder has gotten better. You have to give credit where credit's due. This guy's been fighting for 12 hours and accomplishes all he's accomplished. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So you have to give him all the credit he deserves. However, I'd prefer to see Joshua and Fury. I like that fight so much more than watching Wilder and Fury. I think it's more money. I think it's great for the sport. I think it's great for the division. I think it opens up bigger opportunities for guys like me who are trying to get there, because now Fury goes out there and beats Joshua. Now Fury got all the belts.
Mm-hmm.
Now I believe Fury goes out there and beats him, he probably retire. So now we have, 4 belts?
Yeah.
Now we have 4 vacant belts. Now we got 4 vacant belts that 8 different people can fight for.
I see you got your Eagles hat on there. You mentioned about all the football players that are in the gym with you. They give you any slack for that?
No, they get on my case. They tell me to take that shit off, but I tell them to kiss my ass. Fly, Eagles, fly, baby.
Well, unless any of these guys that you're in the gym with play for the Kansas City Chiefs, tell them, you know, they're not the defending Super Bowl champions. So,
right. Well, certain guys I give credit where credit's due. I train a lot with Adrian Peterson, so he hasn't seen the hat. He hasn't said nothing about the hat. But if he asks me to take it off, I tell him, listen, we either spar for it or play some football. I'd prefer to spar, but it is your gym.
It's an interesting name. You mentioned you being 35 years old. He's a physical freak. You don't see running backs in the league at his age, especially after the couple knee surgeries he's had. You're in the gym with a guy like that. You see his work ethic. You know, because you know there are just running backs at his age. There are no running backs at his age. Maybe Frank Gore. That's about it. You see, he must be a workout warrior there. So when you see a guy like him working out, you know, does that inspire you a little bit?
Yeah, I mean it does. But you know, one thing I noticed about a lot of older athletes. He's older, especially in the football career. That's old.
Yeah, for a running back, extremely old.
Extremely old. So to see how he works out, it's not like he's all day long. He's smart on how he works out. Even when he does the agility drills, I remember when I first came to this gym 3 years ago, seeing him work out. He works out a lot different 3 years ago than what he does today. So watching him, I catch it. I noticed this. I was telling my dad the same thing about me. I noticed things I've done when I was 22, and at 34, 35, I don't do. I'm a lot smarter. I take my time. A lot of my injuries have come from not being smart, from being completely out of shape and going balls to the wall, thinking I'm invincible, and it kicks my ass. So I noticed like he's very cautious, even though he's a monster. I mean, I've seen him play last year. To do what he does for the Washington Redskins at his age, and still do what he does, it's amazing. I mean, he's really a freak of nature.
Well, Travis, anything else? I see you're out there by the pool. You're getting ready to, take your clothes off and go skinny dipping. So you say.
Hey.
So you say. Yeah, I think you moved your camera.
You want to stay on? You want to stay on? I can
No, that's okay. That's okay. What was I going to say? Oh, another question. You dipped you speak of dipping your feet in the pool. You dipped your feet in the pool of promoting a little bit last year. Is that something? How did that go? Is that something that you're going to be trying to pursue a little bit more in the years to come?
I don't know what the future. I don't predict the future, but I don't know what the future holds for me. Right now, I have no interest because I'm back in the ring.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know what the future holds. My life is boxing. I don't know anything else but boxing. I've done this. I've been involved in the sport since I was 9 years old. 35. And by the time I'm a felon for selling weed, which is fucking legal everywhere now.
Mm-hmm.
But by the time I retire, I'll be 37, 38. And I never worked a day in my life. So who's going to want to hire a 38-year-old man with zero work experience and is a felon? Nobody. So I might be, I might be forced to stay in this business, which I'm okay with because I know the business. But to be on the business side of things, I don't know if I want to be. I mean, it's up and down. It's in a sense, I feel like, how can I be something I bitched at all the time about?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like, there's some good guys in the business. My dad being one of them. But there's a lot of slimy people in this business, and I believe, in order to be successful, like very successful in this business, it's to somewhat be slimy. And I can't see myself ripping off a fighter when I was a fighter.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can, but it's a business. So, and it's not necessarily ripping them off because of a fighter. If TV's offering me $300,000 and the fighters are agreeing to fight for $50,000, am I really ripping them off? No, I mean, I don't know. So, I mean, I just have to learn the ins and outs of it more. But right now, my focus, at least for the next 2 years, is just being in the ring and making as much money as I can before I walk away.
Okay. Anything you want to say in closing out there before we let you go?
No, I appreciate all the love, all the support over the years. It's been a long, long road. I still got a couple more years left in this, and I'm not stopping hopefully until I'm the heavyweight champion of the world. Let's hope that's when I stop. I don't want to stop before that.
I'm sorry. I was gonna say last but not least. Where do we find you on social media if we want to see all your craziness that you're up to?
Oh God. Well, the most active I'm at is Facebook. You can find me on Facebook, Travis Kauffman. I have a fan site on Facebook, Travis My Time Kauffman. I have Instagram under mytime_champ, and also that's the Twitter is exactly the same, mytime_champ.
Well, Travis, we'll see you. I would imagine soon, July. Oh, I'm gonna try to get something out of you. That's what good reporters do. August, okay.
August.
Just August. There we go. So we'll see you in August, and I'll get you back on before the fight. We'll preview it, and you're going to tell us how you're going to knock XYZ out. Have a good night. Enjoy the pool. Enjoy Houston. I'll talk